I recently got a client that has a blog that is literally eating itself from the inside out. They have so many posts that they cannot keep up with the amount of content is on the site, and a majority of them are overlapping. They have around 80 posts on the site, and they only need about 6 because each new post overlaps with different content. I created this site several years ago when ChatGPT first came out to display how content, when you build it at scale and you don't use any type of methodology, will actually do more damage than good. Very, very simple. The first thing I'm going to do is, on this website that I created, I have loads of articles that talk about cost. 1, cost, 2, cost, 3, cost, 4, cost, loads of articles. And all of those articles are competing with each other. Google doesn't know which one of those articles to rank. So when I give it 7 articles all talking about cost, it doesn't know which one to prioritize because I haven't given it any specific priority. So instead of picking one on its own, it won't pick any of them, which then turns out to be, as you can see, I built this in 2023, and for the last 16 months, I've had a grand total of 11 clicks on this site. Here is how to fix that cannibalization issue. It's a really easy, straightforward process. The first thing that we need to do is go into Search Console, and we need to filter out anything that contains our query. So I am going to filter the pages for the query cost. I have 7 articles here that have just been sitting there now for years, and I can see that Google favors this one at the top here. I get at least 1,000 impressions over the last 16 months, which is nothing. But the point is that I already know now what URL Google favors. So I need to take the content from all of these. I need to then combine it all into this top one here, this piece of content, and then I need to redirect everything into that article. The first thing I'm going to do is take all of these, I'm going to export them into an Excel sheet. From there, I copy them, and I actually use Google Sheets. I think it's easier because it saves all of my progress. And I'm going to paste them here. Now, I know that this is my top dog. I am going to highlight it, and I am basically going to now go through all of these. I'm going to open each one, and I'm going to say, okay, what content do I need? What content don't I need? I'm assuming there are loads of paragraphs and links and all that stuff that it's all overlapping because they all talk about the cost. So I'm assuming that these articles all say basically the same thing. However, if these are human written articles, hopefully many of them are on your site or your client's site, there will be differences. And so probably one of the easiest ways to do this is actually to use ChatGPT. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to ask, yes, I use our writers, ChatGPT. Sebi is one of our writers. So I'm going to open Web Pilot. And Web Pilot is basically the way that GPT crawls the web. And I'm going to have it crawl and read all the content on these pages. And then what I'm going to say is, when completed, just say done. So it's going to go and crawl every one of these URLs. Now that it has crawled all 7 of them, I'm going to ask it, did you read all the content on all 7 of those pages? Because ChatGPT is notorious for making things up. It will just give you random information and it will spit it out in such a convincing way that you have no idea that it's actually read anything that you've given it. Especially if you're not a professional on the subject, you really need to grill ChatGPT to understand that it understands what you are asking it to do. So now, I'm assuming, now that it's read everything, I want it to take all the content that it's just read about and I want it to condense it into one piece, removing all of the overlapping content and the overlapping points. So all I'm saying is, take this content from all the URLs and condense it into one article that will be on this URL. Now, since I know Google favors the structure and favors the layout of that article, I'm going to tell it, keep the same layout, keep the same structure, tone of voice as the live article. Just ensure you add all the missing information the other 6 articles have that The first one doesn't. Okay. Easy. And I'm just going to hit enter. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't like this article. I would actually never publish this on my own. Right out the gate, when you say, in the ever-evolving digital landscape, having a well-designed, user-friendly website is crucial for businesses in the United Kingdom. No, I would never do this on a client's website, simply because this one sentence has probably been used and reused a million times over again by chat. Ever-evolving digital landscape? Come on. It uses ever-evolving on every article it ever spits out. So this needs a lot of human involvement. It needs a real writer to go through and actually sort it out. But what we have done, though, is it saved us hours of going through the other 6 articles and putting them into one. So I'm going to take this content, I would put it into a Word document where I would then, with a writer, go through it to make sure that it is accurate, that it didn't miss anything from the other articles, and that it's containing everything that we want to. The structure, the keywords, the layout, all that stuff. Say that I have completely finished this article. Now what I want to do is I want to go to my leading article here. I'm going to open it. I'm going to add that new content in there. So I'm using WordPress. I'm going to go in, edit this post. I'm going to add all my new content in there, new structure and everything. Make sure that my internal links are there, my external links are there. I'm going to save it. Once I am done with that, I am going to use a redirect plugin, and it is called Redirection. So simple. It sits right in my tools here, redirection. I can actually import my redirects that I want to have. So all I got to do is click import, export. I'm going to have a file called source URL and target URL. So I'm going to open this, and this is going to be my target URL. So source URL and target URL. So I'm going to remove this from the list because I don't need it anymore, and I'm going to actually put my target URL here, because this is my new target URL. It's very, very simple process. Okay, so I now have my source URL. So this is my incoming URL. That means that when Google crawls the site, or has crawled the site before and it wants to refer back to this article, it's going to refer to these source URLs because they're the old URLs. They're the URLs that Google knows exist. But we're telling Google those don't exist anymore. They need to go to the new URL. So all I need to do then is take these URLs in the source column and target them to the target URL. I'm going to just clean it up really quick. Then I am going to now upload this into the Redirection plugin. And this is going to the redirection script. I am going to now click upload. It's imported. And now let's test it. Let's see if it actually works. So here's my redirects. Right. I can see that they're all in here. I should have 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I can come back into my file and go, all right, how much do web designers charge in the UK? Now, it should open, in theory, how much do web designers charge UK? It should open in this URL now. So if I come here and I click it, we can see that it opens in our comprehensive guide. So the last step, now that our 3 R1s are in place, our last step is going to be to set all of those articles that we just transferred into a draft. Because if I don't, and I go like this, I still have, right, I've just refreshed, I still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7 posts that are all talking about the same thing. Just because I created the redirect doesn't mean that those posts are still not on my site. What I need to then do is draft all these posts. I'm going to go back in to my backend, and I'm going to draft those posts. If you don't know how to do it, you just open up WordPress. I would just type in the word cost. Okay, we can see that there's lots of cost articles. Quick edit, draft, update, move on. And that is it. That helps tie up all these issues, like, so that we don't have any more cannibalization issues. There's one article talking about one topic that covers all the other subtopics that we did in the other articles, all in one place. And that will help take all of this, like, just horrible data, and it will actually, you'd be amazed how quickly impressions start showing up and clicks start going through just by refining those articles into one location. If you would like an in-depth guide on how to fix cannibalization issues and restore your rankings, all you need to do is click on the link in the description below.